suffer severe consequences. The least among those consequences, jail time. In this host's opinion, the Democrats' agenda is evil, pure evil, something for you to prey on as you ponder Christ's suffering on this Ash Wednesday. Let's bring in our first guest, President of America's Sheriff LLC, Board of Directors member for the Crime Prevention Research Center, Newsmax contributor, and author of Cops Under Fire, Sheriff David Clarke. Pleasure to see you as always, my friend. You know, we now know that the Biden administration is considering turning over America's sovereignty to a China puppet, the WHO. The debate about the Democrats' anti-American one world order agenda is now over, isn't it? How profoundly dangerous, Sheriff, is this?
Extremely dangerous, Chris. You know it. I think you articulated it well. Look, there's a couple of issues here. First, it's an issue of U.S. sovereignty. The United States of America should never forfeit its autonomy, its right to self-rule, and its ability to be able to control their own fortunes to any foreign nation or foreign body. As I indicated, this is an issue of U.S. sovereignty, for heaven's sakes. And the World Health Organization, that is a corrupt organization. It is plagued by scandals. There have been several reports done on the World Health Organization, and here's what they found. They said the WHO is plagued by persistent wasteful spending, utter disrespect for transparency, pervasive incompetence, failure to adhere to even basic democratic standards. They have a $2 billion per year budget. Most of that is funded by the United States. Why? Biden should not be able to do this unilaterally. He should need approval from Congress to enter into something like this. The WHO, the World Health Organization, they bungle the COVID pandemic, they bungle the AIDS pandemic, and now we're going to let them make medical decisions. They took medicine and science and played politics with it.
No wonder. It's such an ineffective and corrupt organization. No wonder Democrats love it and want to turn us over to it. By the way, there is pushback against the Democrats' agenda here in the United States, a win for America and a defeat for Democrats. West Virginia lawmakers have passed a bill that will allow concealed carry permit holders to carry firearms on state campuses. West Virginia delegate Mike Honaker, I believe is how you pronounce his name. He remembered his time as a police officer when he responded to the Virginia Tech mass shooting in 2007. Watch.
I remember the looks in the faces of those kids. I remember thinking, I cannot believe how much blood is in this hallway and on these walls. You'll hear some of the rhetoric here is we're going to give guns to college students. No, we're not. We're just going to tell free, law-abiding American citizens they have a second constitutional right to carry a firearm if they want.
Sheriff, that's pretty powerful stuff right there, yes?
Yes, it is, and it's about time, and I hope that other colleges and universities follow suit. Look, these college campuses, they're not gun-free zones. What they are is they're killing fields. They're just like all these other public spaces that think they're banning guns. Those are targets. The system blinks red for a mass shooter who usually pulls this stuff on an area that he knows the likelihood of somebody being armed and being able to stop him is very low. Like I said, these people are sitting ducks in these situations. Not every student will carry a gun, but there are those who are competent. And by the way, it shouldn't take a state law. It's in the Constitution. And we got to do everything that we can to rid people in this country of this idea of a gun-free zone. Like I said, those are killing fields.
Amen to that. Now, you shared this footage from late 2021 on Twitter, and it's only gotten worse since then, Sheriff. 4 black teenagers attacking Asians on a train in Philadelphia. They did eventually face ethnic intimidation and aggravated assault charges. But first, I want you to comment on the violence, but then also address these so-called institutions of higher learning who have policies of bigotry toward Asians. Aren't these left-wing institutions normalizing treating the Asian community as second-class citizens?
I'm getting sick of this violence against the Asian community. Look, blacks commit a higher rate of violence against Asians, more so than any other race in America, and people don't talk about that. I'm sick of these bullies. They pick on people they know won't fight back. And as I indicated in that tweet, and I use some select language, but I wish I would have been on that car. When I'm in these public spaces, and here's another example of a public space, public transportation, these places aren't safe. When in places where there's no magnetometer, I'm going armed. Why? Out of fear for this kind of stuff, for heaven's sakes. And I want to be able to defend myself. And there's other things besides going for a gun. I have other options. I have my own force continuum. I carry pepper spray. I also have a collapsible baton that I might want to use. I'm not always going to go to the firearm right away if it doesn't call for it, but I just wish I would have been there, because the end result would have been a lot different. That woman would have been taken to a dentist for some dental work that perpetrated her. A thug, a straight up thug.
You've got to have a means of protecting yourself from the Democrats' little darlings around this country. They are the party of the criminal, and the rest of us have to be the party/ideology of law and order. Sheriff David Clarke, thank you, sir. Appreciate the time as always and your service. Still ahead this afternoon on the Chris Salcedo Show, President Trump visits